Hey everyone, welcome back to 5 Minutes Learning Channel. Today, let's dive into a real-world case study that's shaping the future of work, Microsoft's bold experiment with the hybrid work model. Imagine arriving at your office and realizing you don't have a fixed desk anymore. Each day you pick your spot, or maybe you just log in from home. It sounds flexible, but it also raises some big questions. That's exactly what Microsoft set out to explore with its hybrid work model. They wanted to see if giving employees more choice could boost both satisfaction and productivity. By introducing Hotdesking and flexible schedules, Microsoft kept refining their approach, always aiming to balance employee freedom with the company's goals. Think about it. How would you manage that balance in your own organization? In this case study, we'll cover why Microsoft chose hybrid work, how they rolled out Hotdesking and flexibility, the challenges and employee reactions, and the policy changes they made along the way to find the right balance. Most importantly, we'll discuss the lessons other companies and future leaders like you can learn from Microsoft's journey. So grab your coffee and get ready. This is your deep dive into how the world of work is evolving and what it means for you as future business leaders. Let's take a step back to 2020. Do you remember how the COVID-19 pandemic suddenly pushed organizations everywhere into remote work almost overnight? It was a turning point for the way we think about work. For industry leaders like Microsoft, this shift wasn't just a short-term fix. It was a chance to fundamentally rethink what a workplace could be. Have you ever wondered how such a massive company would approach this challenge? Employees quickly embraced the perks of working from home, no more long commutes, more time with family, and greater control over their schedules. But leaders faced tough questions. Would collaboration suffer? Could company culture survive this new normal? What would you be most concerned about in their shoes? Picture this. Before the pandemic, the only option was office work, one dish on the menu. During lockdowns, it was all remote, home-cooked meals only. Now, Microsoft wanted to offer a buffet, letting employees choose what worked best for them each day. How would you design that buffet? It sounds appealing, doesn't it? But just like any buffet, there are always a few surprises, and not everything goes as planned. Now, let's dive into one of Microsoft's boldest moves, Hotdesking. Imagine walking into the office and choosing your workspace for the day, no assigned seats. Microsoft reimagined their offices so employees could reserve desks or meeting rooms only when needed. How do you think that would change your daily routine? This approach was all about flexibility and efficiency. Instead of empty desks gathering dust, space was used only when people were present. It also opened doors for more cross-team collaboration. Can you see the potential benefits here? So why did Microsoft take this step? To cut real estate costs, reduce wasted space, and spark new connections between teams. Think about it. How might these goals align with challenges in your own organizations? But here's the reality check. Many employees were attached to having their space, a desk decorated with family photos, a favorite mug, and those little personal touches. How important is a sense of ownership over your workspace to you? Some employees described feeling like guests in their own office. In fact, many spent the first part of their day just searching for a spot to settle in. Imagine starting your morning this way. How would it impact your mindset? It's a bit like visiting your favorite cafe, but never knowing if your preferred table will be available. That uncertainty can be frustrating, right? How would you handle it? Let me ask you something. Years ago, banks and call centers in India also tried Hotdesking. At first it seemed efficient, but employees soon felt like just another number, lacking a sense of belonging. What lessons can we draw from their experience? Microsoft encountered a similar challenge, finding the right balance between operational efficiency and employee comfort. If you were leading this change, how would you address both needs? This is the heart of the matter, balancing what works best for the company with what helps people feel valued and comfortable. As future leaders, how would you approach this delicate balance? Let's pause for a moment. Not every part of Microsoft's hybrid journey was a struggle. In fact, flexibility became one of their biggest wins. Imagine being able to choose which days you come into the office, or whether you work mornings, evenings, or even split your shifts. How would that change your routine? This kind of flexibility transformed work-life balance. Think about it. Parents could drop their kids at school, caregivers could manage their responsibilities, and everyone felt a greater sense of trust from leadership. Wouldn't you feel more empowered in that environment? Trust really is the foundation here. Instead of focusing on hours logged, Microsoft shifted to measuring outcomes. As future leaders, ask yourself, are you managing time or are you managing results? And here's something interesting. Studies show that flexible work can actually boost productivity, but only when communication and accountability are crystal clear. So, how would you set up those guardrails in your own teams? Microsoft quickly learned that flexibility without clear structure can lead to confusion. It's a balancing act, freedom with responsibility. Of course, no major experiment is without its bumps. Microsoft faced some real challenges along the way. Let's break them down together. First, there was managerial resistance. Some leaders still clung to the old butts-in-seats mindset, believing visibility equaled productivity. This created tension between managers and employees. Have you seen this in your own organizations? Next, collaboration took a hit. While tools like Teams and Zoom helped, true innovation often sparks from casual office conversations. Remote-heavy teams missed those spontaneous water-cooler moments. How would you keep your teams connected? Another challenge was employee inequality. Not every role could be flexible. Engineers and coders thrived remotely, but IT support and hardware teams needed to be on site. This led to feelings of unfairness. How might you address this gap? Finally, there was culture drift. New hires struggled to connect when most interactions were virtual. Building trust and belonging became much harder. What strategies would you use to foster team culture in a hybrid world? Think of it like a cricket team practicing alone at home. Sure, everyone stays fit, but team chemistry suffers if they rarely play together. The same goes for hybrid work. Connection matters. So, how did Microsoft respond? They made smart pivots, desk booking apps. To reduce Hotdesking chaos, they launched tech-driven solutions where employees could book desks in advance through an app. Anchor days. Teams were encouraged to set common in-office days, so collaboration didn't feel random. Hybrid guidelines, not rules. Instead of rigid policies, managers were given frameworks, support for remote workers. They invested in better hardware, meeting room tech, and asynchronous tools so that remote employees didn't feel left out. So what can other companies learn from Microsoft's hybrid experiment? Flexibility is a benefit and a responsibility. Space matters. Culture needs nurturing. Technology is the backbone. One size doesn't fit all. Microsoft wasn't alone in this journey. Google pushed for more in-office days. Twitter, under Elon Musk, tried forcing everyone back full-time. Airbnb allowed employees to work from anywhere permanently. Compared to these extremes, Microsoft's balanced experiment looks like a middle path. Microsoft's hybrid experiment teaches us that the future of work is not about offices or remote setups. It's about finding the right mix, listening to employees, and continuously adapting. Here's my big takeaway for you. The workplace of tomorrow will not be defined by walls and cubicles, but by trust, flexibility, and smart use of technology. If you found this case study on Microsoft's hybrid work experiment insightful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, tell me in the comments, would you prefer hot-desking and hybrid flexibility, or do you like the good old fixed desk and office routine? Until next time, keep learning and stay curious.